Hello, everybody in the world and wherever you may be. It is October 1st, 9 a.m. Pacific, here with my esteemed colleagues, Caleb James Delisle and Josh Berger. We're here at the Packet Roundtable. If you are seeing this stream, don't hesitate to share with your folks and friends in social media land. And how are you guys doing? How are you doing, Caleb?
Pretty good. I just realized after doing this that I guess that's devil horns. I didn't mean it as devil horns.
It could mean a lot of things.
Just trying to rock out, you know?
Yeah. It became that, and then it became like just a convenient thing, but people may take it the wrong way.
Yeah, you'll get on one of those, those videos where the guy like raises one eyebrow and then like Google something and raises another eyebrow and then like Google something.
Guy. Yeah.
They're going to go deep down it and be like, he used his hand movement.
Yeah, that guy.
He must be part of the Illuminati and, some obscure theory about how you're worshiping the devil. So careful.
There it is.
Yeah. Those are
crack the code. We figured it out.
Yeah. All about your history, your resume, your involvement with the programming of Bitcoin in 2003.
I have one patch that I added to the Bitcoin project in not 2003, more like 2013, and it.
I'm saying you were involved with Bitcoin 10 years before Bitcoin even started.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, for real. I just did a patch that made the code a little bit more secure using some additional security features of the compiler. Very, very, very small contribution. It was as early before now it's super hardened. Like they're using all the tricks now, but way back then they weren't using anything, and I just was like, why did you do this?
That's pretty rad. Well, a lot of exciting things happening in the world. We got a green day in the world of crypto today. And if you're stateside, United States, we have a government shutdown looming with partisan politics.
Oh, it's not looming. It's shut down.
It's shut down. Bitcoin likes the government shutdown. Interesting. And Ethereum really likes the government shutdown.
Yeah, Ethereum's up 5% today, which is
wow.
Yeah.
So wonder why that is. It maybe it's because a government shutdown implies reduction of spending, but that would be anti-inflationary, right? Like usually crypto should like inflation. Super weird.
Yeah. It's a weird times, buddy. Lots of theories make little sense these days.
Anyway, I'm all for government shutdowns. They should just never start it again.
Yeah. Well, I'm all for government shutdowns as long as when the government shuts down, the Congress people and Senate also don't get paid. That I think is the only thing that's fair.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
So it just doesn't make any sense.
I had a friend of the family long time ago, and he used to say when they hire the Congress, they should give them the median salary. And every time they pass a law, they reduce it. And when it gets to zero, they shoot them. That was his plan.
All right. You should see if you can get that one through Congress.
Yeah. Well, you would think that they would never vote against their own best interest, but it looks like this anti-trading law for Congress people who have insider information is potentially going to pass through.
Well, it's because some traders are better than others, so and it ain't the majority that are good traders, so they're like, fuck it, just take these.
But even some of the good traders have voted against it, so or voted for it, I should say. But there's a couple, people on
maybe like insider trading. Yeah, I can see why this would be. Insider trading is illegal, like jail illegal, and if they're trading with information that they have because they're a senator or representative, that is insider trading.
Yeah.
So just passing a law that bans it entirely is kind of like a de-escalation of the matter, because the other way this could go would be that, for example, the DOJ starts investigating senators and representatives for insider trading. And of course, that's going to be partisan, because why wouldn't it be?
Yeah,
And
of course.
then you can kind of see how this would spiral out of control with congressional people getting thrown in jail. And it would be a lot more clean if they just ban it and probably put some kind of amnesty in there where they just say, okay, we're not going to go into the past, but from here on, nobody can trade stock at all. That's it.
The question is, does Nancy Pelosi's husband have to quit being a trader? That's the real question.
Normally, yes. I mean, insider trading should spread to. I mean, if you're leaking information to your partner, that should also qualify. I mean,
Did Nancy Pelosi vote no on it or vote yes on it?
No, she voted yes for it, and yeah, pretty much the only people who are voting no on it are Republicans, which is interesting. But the premise of it is certainly makes sense, and especially when you're seeing these people making hundreds of millions of dollars. I mean, the number one trader is not Nancy Pelosi. It's a Republican congressperson. So his net worth is like 3 times Nancy Pelosi's. So
did he vote yes or no?
He voted no. He's very vocal. He does not want to lose his ability to make hundreds of millions of dollars while he's in Congress. Yeah.
Right, but it actually makes sense that he would vote no, because he knows the DOJ isn't going to go after him. But on the Democrat side, the DOJ is a big risk because it's partisan. So the Democrats would like to pass a law that bans it for everybody with an understood amnesty for anything that happened in the past.
Yeah. I don't know about the I don't know who is getting amnesty, or if anybody's getting amnesty, or if that's even part of the calculus here. But yeah, there's certainly some problems.
There's got to be some kind of understood amnesty. It's like, okay, right, we're not going to go after that because it's not going to happen anymore, and we don't want to start arresting Congress because we kind of crossed a lot of Rubicons, but we haven't crossed that one, and we prefer not to. That kind of concept.
Yeah.
What about the president? Is he allowed
to trade? Point. That's definitely a good point. Yeah, it doesn't make a whole lot of sense for that to stay part of the situation. So, but there's certainly something wrong when you got people, making this kind of money in Congress. There's one guy they were researching who was making like 15 trades a day. And it's like every single day of the year, and they did some calculation on it. It was like thousands and thousands of trades. It's like, how are you a Congress person? Like, how do you have time to do 15 trades every single day of the week per year?
On his phone while somebody's blabbing about something or other.
Yeah, I mean, you're a stock trader. You're not a congressperson.
I think we should just lean into it, and we should
just even to do a couple trades a day is it's a lot of work to get a trade in and do the analysis of what you're deploying capital and go in and out.
Yeah. What Josh is probably about to say is make it so they all have to have ETFs, so you can just throw your money into their ETF.
I think we should just have like a trading competition, Congress trading competition, and just like lean into it, just see who's the better trader straight up. Have you seen those things that are happening in like Asia where you're each given like the same amount of money and then there's just live trading? It's like a new esport.
No way. That's great.
Oh no. Esports need to go away. I think they need to bring back like actual physical sports. Like, the presidential debates is so boring. They should have like presidential wipeout where they have to do wipeout in order to to become president. And so you get to see these old guys trying to like run that obstacle course and fall in the water and just see like who's the most, physically fit, because that was how they that was how they did it back in like the ancient Greeks and stuff. You know, they valued like honor and manliness and physical fitness and those kind of values. And I think we've lost that now, where you know you can be anything or nothing, and you can be a slug and you can become president as long as you have money and you argue well.
Yeah, it's that's one way to do it. You know, there's a really cool website called Quiver Quant, QuiverQuant.com. And there's a section of it, you do /Congress trading, and it will show you the most active congressional traders, and it will show you exactly what they're buying. And they also offer a tool that will auto execute trades following the traders that you want to follow. And you can basically just track your portfolio. You can automate it so that you can deploy a certain amount of money that will automatically track a congressional trader, so you could be on the inside with them and just follow along.
What's the time delay though? Because it takes time before they have to report it, right?
You have to report it. You're always getting a little bit of a haircut, but on time, I think it's but you're still in the trades, because most people aren't day trading these positions. They're usually entering a trade when a contract's getting signed, and it's a few weeks to a month or more sometimes before whatever the news impact is. So you still have time to get in. It's not, you're not day trading these positions.
Well, the bigger problem is the sell off. They're usually selling it the day before they indict like this company that they're about to wreck. So that's the one I'm more concerned about, is like, am I going to sell it before they kick the door in of the company that they're like investigating?
Yeah. Yeah. Nancy Pelosi was not the number one stock trader last year. It was a Republican, Michael McCall.
Well, of course, the Republicans are in the presidency now, so Nancy doesn't, she doesn't have the insider information anymore.
Yeah. She only made 10 trades last year. Michael McCall made 1,051 trades. Actually, Democrat Ro Khanna made 4,200 trades last year. So he was busy as well.
I don't know what the solution is, but it's certainly not Congress.
Yeah.
I don't know what, the problem is, voting is everything we have is kind of like the worst possible system, except all the other ones.
Yeah.
Can the president still trade? Is that still allowed?
Apparently not, but I mean, nothing's
nothing
prohibiting this
his kids.
presidency.
He just has his kids do it.
Yeah,
it's so easy for him. He's got 4 kids.
So let's flip gears.
It's become like a political show.
Yeah, we always touch on a little bit of politics, a little bit of crypto.
Politics is like part of crypto now, which is kind of like ridiculous. They're like, now they go hand in hand. It's pretty ridiculous.
Well, yeah, absolutely. And a lot of the activities that happen on the political spectrum, have a big impact on the global markets, and the global markets are impacting crypto directly. And, Packet has direct exposure to crypto for sure. So, couple updates, obviously things are still progressing in terms of our acquisition. We did get a little bit of an extension based on the due diligence process that we've been performing. So, but still have an end date that's in the October time period. So I'm glad we tacked on a week or so. And when we kind of gave our October 31st deadline, and as of right now, we're still contained within the month of October. So we're working our butts off to get this deal done, and still progressing through. Getting exciting. A lot of really interesting pieces of the story and how this thing begins to unfold, and certainly how it relates directly back into Packet as well. I did want to say, just for the few people listening, to make sure that you log on to your exchange to the exchanges. If you have any money that was connected to the airdrops on either Bitmart or MEXC, to go log in and withdraw your airdrop, just to get them into your own wallet, whether it be a base wallet or MetaMask wallet or whatever. And then same goes for PKTC. If you have PKTC on any exchanges, you should definitely move them into a wallet that you have custody of that's not on an exchange. So hopefully that goes without saying. And we should also put a reminder into the socials that people go and sit down, log into your account, get yourself tidied up, because I'm not sure where this goes in terms of in terms of these delisted projects. I don't know how long they give you to withdraw, so make sure you take care of that. And then on the other side of things with Packet in general, there's still a lot of work that we have to do to get things updated on the web pages, and there's work to do, but our focus has certainly been on this acquisition and what's entailed for us to get this thing over the line. And once we do, we'll be able to start getting a lot of organic interest in the story, just because of the brand name and being able to associate that with the network itself. It really, we've said this a bunch of times, but it really ties into, for Josh and I in specifics, our original premise and what we wanted, what our vision was, and what we wanted to do with crypto in specifics. And having a network where people can engage with content and also transact with content and have those transactions captured on a blockchain. And even better now, and it's interesting because when we started, we were built on the Bitcoin Coinbase code base, which didn't give us access to smart contracts. But now that we've migrated over to Base, we'll have access to smart contracts, which is another big piece in being able to do programmatic money. And I think there's something really special to do in that space. I was also reading an article yesterday about Jim Breyer, who's a prolific investor from Excel Partners, early Bitcoin investor. Also early Bitcoin investment, early Facebook investor, where he became a billionaire. And he made an early investment that I didn't even know that you could make, but he invested into Circle in 2013. And as many know, Circle IPO'd a few months ago. And I think he got in, I think he said at 47 cents. It IPO'd. And I want to say it IPO'd at like $30 and went all the way up to like over $200. It's a pretty good investment. 47 cents to, obviously it took 10 years, but 47 cents to $200. And so we, oh, here we go. Nice. Welcome, G. But anyways, I was just reading about it. And so we have this an additional opportunity with regards to stable coins and enabling people on the royalty side of things to be compensated in stable coin, and using the Coinbase infrastructure, programmatic money, transparency on revenue, all these elements that are not generally available to content creators and rights holders and broadcasters, and even major ISPs. So this is the direction that we really want to blaze a trail. It's exciting stuff.
Yeah, totally. I just wish we could go reveal it, but yeah, the stuff we're mapping out and the IP that we're developing. And the reason I'm not on camera is I'm going up north. We got some big investor meetings that are going down, so we're working, burning the midnight oil, trying to get this thing to the next level, and lots of opportunity on the horizon.
Yeah, for sure. How have you been, Caleb? You've been doing any tech stuff, anything in the blockchain space? What's going on your end?
Well, October, it's here. It's nice. it's a great time of the year for me. Well, a lot of CGDNS was written in October, November. When the first snow flies, I get more motivation. So wiped down my whiteboard, and so today I'm thinking that I'm just sort of figuring out what it would look like to do the VPN thing for that. We plan to do that, but it's been a while, and that one turns out it's just very complicated. That's all, because there's a lot of the really useful thing for VPNs here is reverse VPNs. VPN. There's a lot of VPNs out there. You kind of almost grow on trees. But reverse VPNs are really useful because you use them for hosting stuff, and so that's a need that I personally have. So I'm very incentivized to make it work. And reverse VPNs imply forward VPNs anyway, but with the reverse VPN aspect, it gives you the ability to have a website and it's hosted in the CGDNS network, and then it's accessible from multiple entrance points around the world. So been thinking about that. There's a lot of work involved in that, with testing the ports, allocating the bandwidth, and doing the smart contract for that lease, and then rigging everything up and making it work. So that's but it's on my mind at this point. I think we're kind of in the right zone of time to think about that. Number two is good old bounce.pkt, something that I should have done a long time ago. That is a little bit, what I realized is that the reason why that hasn't happened yet is because what it really needs is a tool for being able to request and keep up to date certificates for an arbitrary number of .pkt whatever endpoints. So I think that the next frontier on the packet side is to make a tool for being able to keep those certificates up to date, those SSL certificates. And then once that tool is working, then bounce is a pretty easy proposition after that, to be able to bounce from a packet domain to a traditional website domain. Then after that, I think on the packet side, the next thing would be the VPN, and then that has a lot of moving parts. Now, another thing is it's not approved yet, but it seems to be pretty close to getting funded to work on the EchoNet embedded devices. So a little bit of funding for that project, and that's really cool because it's going to give us like another an embedded device, like a fiber modem that will be something that we can think about running CGDNS and packet on. So those are very low cost devices, very widely available because they were sold originally as fiber modems for ISPs, and so that's what makes them super cheap, super available, and quite capable devices. So that's another thing that's kind of on the horizon as a side project, kind of. And a lot of headway has been made on that already, but we're kind of a little bit of a stopping point with that project right now. But the good news is that it is also very much alive and in progress. So a lot of things, and I think that some of these things are going to become little announcements in the over the course of the October.
That's great. Yeah, it's great. It definitely would be cool to get that VPN. I want that VPN so badly. I've been using VPN a bunch, and it's certainly an opportunity for us there. Yeah.
A VPN app is a different project from the VPN itself. Like just getting the VPN working for the purpose of being able to host websites and stuff, that's kind of phase one. A VPN app, there's a lot of VPN apps out there. Making another one, it is work because it's got to be, CGDNS based VPN app, which, we have the Android VPN app, and that would have to be brushed up, and that would get us Android. iOS is another can of worms, which, we don't really have, there isn't really a plan for a iOS Android VPN app, but just having the VPN being capable of being used for hosting websites in the network, that's something that is very, very within reach at this point. And so hosting things at home, hosting things on VPS, that kind of stuff, it is a bit niche, but you have to remember that it's a niche that isn't filled by a lot of other decentralized VPNs, because if you want to buy some tokens and have a decentralized VPN with an app that runs on Android, there's actually a lot of those, but they don't do this, which this thing of being able to integrate with the packet domains and have a packet public IP address that you can lease a bandwidth lease on that address with your own port, or with your SNI proxy for your domain, your website to be running on HTTPS behind it. That is something that doesn't really exist right now. So people use like Cloudflare, which it doesn't actually solve your problem, because you still need a public internet IP address. So having something that works like Cloudflare but gets you into the CGDNS network is quite interesting, although it is niche. But it's a niche that nobody else fills right now.
Yeah. Me, I'm always excited about the app side of things, and then you're always excited about the inside tech side of things,
Yeah. And the reason why I'm excited about it in this case is because it's something that doesn't really exist right now. Whereas what you're asking about, it does exist. There's quite a few of these DVPNs where you can buy a token and use it to buy a VPN, and I think they're pretty cheap. Am I wrong that I'm trying to think that because we did some research at some point on some of these DVPNs, there's just kind of a lot of them, and if I remember well, they were reasonably priced.
Yeah, there's some good DVPNs for sure. Yeah, they're just not packet DVPNs, so want to have the packet one. And but yeah, that said, there are solutions out there. Indeed, there's definitely solutions out there. So
so I'm particularly interested in this
right.
web hosting thing, because it's an itch that nobody in the industry right now is scratching.
Yeah, that's a really good point. So well, that makes sense. It's exciting stuff. I mean, those are all important pieces of the story. They're on the roadmap, so that's definitely things that people have expected to see. Like I said, need to update that roadmap and kind of bring it all into compliance with this new trajectory and the direction that things are headed. So some work to do there, indeed. Anything else we should top this conversation off with? Anything else that we want to share you can think of, Josh, Jeremy, on your guys' end?
Nothing really crazy on my end. Yeah, we're just keeping on pushing on these different pieces. Once we can reveal them, everyone will be like, "Oh, that's what you were doing with your life."
Yeah, I just saw that the CTO of Ripple just stepped down. Did you see that?
Okay.
So some interesting developments over on that front. We'll have to keep an eye on.
Yeah.
Do we know what Bitcoin closed at on the monthly?
No.
That was a crucial level that they were talking about. Where,
what were they saying?
Well, they're just saying that if Bitcoin closed above, what was it, Josh? It was like above 117 or 120, then we could be seeing the next leg up, and if it didn't, then we'll be seeing the downward trend into.
Oh, interesting. Yeah, it did not close above 117.
What did it close at?
I mean,
Because it was a month.
barely 113, 113. I don't think it even made it to 115. So
yeah, so then they were so because basically what usually happens is they have what they call pump October. And so everybody, what is it?
October.
That's right. October. And so everybody thinks that, based on history, October's always been a good month. 20 to 30% increase on Bitcoins, and then it sets the trend for a month of really parabolic movement with altcoins, and then starting basically November down, and then we go into the bear market going into 2026. And so if history repeats itself like it does every 4 years, they're saying that if Bitcoin, if the whales got Bitcoin over 117 to 120, then we could see it go all the way up to the next Fibonacci, which was 134. But it doesn't look like it did.
Yeah, it didn't. I mean, it's definitely up. Oh, wow. I mean, it is. Oh, wow. It just actually went to 117 just now.
Did it?
But yeah, there's a huge candle. Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, that was what I was looking at when I said Bitcoin likes the government shutdown.
Yeah, it's absolutely, Bitcoin is absolutely pumping right now.
So maybe it does get a little October.
Yeah, literally.
I don't know. I think that it's fake.
Since 7 a.m. this morning, Bitcoin's up 3%.
Yeah, look, the big problem is retail ain't here,
Yeah.
So you're trading against traders, and
you're trading against the exchanges.
Traders. And yeah, so you can't go parabolic without retail, and retail needs to feel emboldened to go cash out their life savings and throw it into a fucking meme coin,
right?
And
I don't think the meme coins
are. People aren't feeling rich. They're not feeling secure. The government just shut down, so you're not giving the signals to retail for them to be like, yeah, this is when I take another loan out on my house and just put it all in Bitcoin.
I don't think Bitcoin's being driven by retail right now. I think it's being driven by institutional.
Yeah, well, that's what Josh is saying.
Yeah, he's saying the retail's not here. So the institutions can pump the price. It bounced off this bottom at Bitcoin at 108. It's up $10,000 in the last, 5 days. And but yeah, it's like, who's buying Bitcoins at $120,000 right now? It's certainly not the retail market, to come and buoy these prices. So institutions can come and mess around with it. But this was it. You're right, Jared. This is a massive level, and it just broke it at 117, and broke it while we're talking. There's a green candle.
Pretty standard, right?
I think
on Wednesdays.
Thing is fear of the U.S. dollar and institutions that are afraid of the U.S. dollar, and they're heading to gold, which I think we should check gold as well. But gold is not going to have the whiplash that Bitcoin's going to have. So they're like 90. They'll do an allocation. It'll be like 95% gold, 5% Bitcoin, or 1% Bitcoin, because they want to take advantage of the bubble whip behavior of Bitcoin, where when gold goes up 1%, Bitcoin goes up 10%. When gold goes up 10%, Bitcoin goes up 100% kind of effect.
Just look at what the monthly is.
There's gold.
It was a big monthly. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Look at what the monthly chart's looking like on these.
Yeah. Gold's on a run.
Yeah, gold's on a run. But look at the monthly close, because I think that's really the telling of what's where things are going.
Sure. So that what you're looking at right here is the hourly chart on gold, which is
Right.
let's see. Here's
Interesting.
Here's
The
the
big
daily chart.
If you go down to the hourly, you can see the big pump on gold and Bitcoin happened at the same time.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. It just happened.
So there was a news event that was bad for the US dollar, and that whatever it was, we don't really know, but something happened. Maybe it's the government shutdown.
Yeah, it's probably the government shutdown.
Gotta be. It's got to be. That was at 10 p.m. Pacific Standard Time.
No, this isn't. This is UTC.
Oh, is it UTC?
Yeah.
So 10. What's UT? Yeah. So what's UTC in?
Like 9 hours back or 10 hours. So, but then what was the other thing you wanted to look at?
Go to the monthly on Bitcoin.
Oh, monthly on Bitcoin. Yeah. Let's see. So here's the monthly.
I mean, the funny thing is like every trader is trading on the same fundamentals.
But look, it closed above. So what they were saying is that there was a huge level that needed to close on the monthly.
Yeah. Well, this is, this type of chart. Yeah.
And that's also Binance, so it's tough.
That's a good looking chart though for Biddy. It's going left to right and it's going straight up. So
so what they were looking at, so if you look at the two peaks from 2020 over at the 2020 charts. So they're comparing those two peaks over on the 2025
right chart. They're saying these two bars right here look kind of the same, and then is this bar going to keep going down versus this bar? Is this bar going to come down? But that didn't happen. And I mean, look at it, shit's going absolute vertical right now.
Bitcoin, in my opinion, is not unstable enough to go down yet. It's too stable. It's like it's sitting at prices. When it's going to go down, that's when you'll get like $5,000 up and down in the same day or 2 days apart.
That volatility.
You get a bunch of that instability, then you kind of know you've hit the top. Again, not financial advice, yada yada yada. But that's something that I've observed in the past is that once it starts to get very unstable, that's when you know the top's in.
Yeah.
Or when you're in your Uber and the Uber driver's like, look at my Bitcoin or look at my XRP, that's when you sell everything and you just freaking hold. Not financial advice, but when there's a euphoria is when it's either uncertainty or euphoria. That's when you know shit's about to hit the fan.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the oldest story. We're not there. We're definitely
of course.
there.
Well, there's a lot of uncertainty, I think. I think there's a lot of fear going on right now, especially in America, like with the way things are going with the current administration, the government shutting down. There's a lot of unrest in different cities where the National Guards are being militarized to come in and handle, state issues when it's unprecedented when there's not a declaration of an emergency in a certain city. So I think people are just confused and not knowing what to do. And so everybody's noticing the gas price. I mean, here in California, where I live, gas prices are $5.30 something cents.
When it filled up at $8, I saw $8 by the train station. I was about to fucking loot.
And what's crazy is I was in Maine. In Maine, the gas prices are $2.75. And so it's and that's on one side of the coast compared to the other side of the coast. But the cost of food is really expensive. You go to the grocery store and to walk out of the grocery store for a family of 3 under $250 is basically impossible unless you go to a Trader Joe's or you go hit the farmer's market. But so I think that just everyday people who got families, they're not I'm taking out, like Josh said, I'm not putting out a mortgage on my house, or I'm not taking half my paycheck and buying an asset that is volatile, you know, unless you're smart and you're thinking of it as like, oh, it's a savings account. It's not a trading account, you know, we're like, hey, do I want my money in US dollars saved, or do I want my money in Bitcoin as a savings? And so it's about your brain chemistry changing.
Right.
Everything that you've said up till now about price of food, price of gas, the civil unrest, all of these things are bad news for the US dollar.
Right.
And bad news for the US dollar is good news for gold and Bitcoin.
Right, but most people don't understand that.
Yep.
Is what I'm trying to say. Is like when you see all this shit, like for you, me, and Josh, Jesse, and like people who are in finance and crypto and, you know, spend time in this space, then they understand that shit. But if you're, you know, a mother of 4 living in Nebraska, you ain't thinking about gold and Bitcoin. You're thinking about making sure that your money's preserved to make sure you can pay for food.
Right. Yeah. No. And it's very hard for a lot of people. However, that's telling me that if there's going to be a crash
Mhm.
in the gold and Bitcoin space, there's a fair chance that crash goes upward. It's a crash up instead of a crash down, because the crash is actually devaluation of the US dollar. And that's going to cause an institutional panic into harder assets, where most of it will go into gold, but gold will only go up a little bit because it's such a massive market. And then you have gold, silver. Silver is also making moves. And then Bitcoin, 1% of it will go into Bitcoin, but 90% of the motion will be in Bitcoin, because Bitcoin has that whiplash effect, because it's such a constrained supply, and it just cracks like a whip every single time.
Are you saying that you think it's going to break the cycle that it's done every single cycle for the last 3 years?
I do not know. I don't know, but I think the number's going up. I think the number's going up.
Well, no cycle has lasted longer than, like, if you count the days to November. So you would have to break the cycle of the last 3 cycles.
You mean you mean by November it has to peak and then go back down? That's
correct.
End
That's
of
correct.
November. End of November, Josh.
End of November could be enough time. I really don't know, and it could still do the cycle. It's just that the upside of it is massive and the downside is really small, right? So it could just be a lopsided version of the cycle where it still follows the rules, but it's biased.
How long have we been above 100K on Bitcoin?
Beginning of
I
August.
mean, yeah, it's been.
I mean, that's impressive, right? Like,
very impressive. Yeah,
to be above 100,000 on Bitcoin for that long, you know,
for a long time.
is pretty next level. I think that I just want it to come down, honestly. I just want it to crash 50% so that I can just load up and just that's when you take the mortgage out, or the second mortgage on your house, you sell everything and you throw it into Bitcoin.
Don't worry, it will,
right?
Because Bitcoin is a constrained supply asset, so it is prone to bubbles that blow up and then burst. Right. And so I don't know if it's going to go to 200 and then back down to 100, or if it'll go to 150 and back down to 80, or what that's going to look like. But I can tell you with a fair amount of certainty that because of the way Bitcoin's structured, it's going to keep doing that, where it goes way up and then it comes way back down. And it's really nice because everybody gets another bite at the apple over and over again. It's just that, you have to know. I mean, back when it was 22,000, I emptied out an old bank account and just threw some money into it, because I knew that, all right, it's pretty much a bottom, and let's ride the elevator up again, because it really is kind of almost that easy.
Yeah. This is definitely one of the biggest green candles that we've seen since, let's see, the last time we saw a green candle as big as this one today is right over here, which
July.
is, what is that? That's yeah, July. So what we're looking at right here, we've seen red candles that have been 3.5%, but this candle right here is
Josh, you sent a video of a guy talking about this this moment. I don't know if you watched.
Of course, I'll
Yeah,
watch it.
and so it's not like literally this guy called this whole scenario. He basically said if we do this, it's going down. If we do this, it's going up, and it's clearly closed the monthly bullish. So I assume that the next 30 days is going to be a good time for crypto, but don't know. Who knows?
The TP right here is at 126 basically. So we'll have to see.
And then the Fibonacci was 135. So he says that the that 135 would be the peak of this next movement.
This next move puts it right up here. That'd be a big move. From where we are right now to 135, it's another 15%.
And then that would kickstart. That would be an alt season for altcoins, right? Because
I mean, yeah,
hypothetically,
once Bitcoin
if Ethereum can follow it.
Oh, what he said, what the guy was saying is that this is when you scale out your positions that you're going to get.
Yeah, that's true. He did say that. He said you're either taking your positions here at 113 is where it was, or things are going to move parabolic over the next 60 days. And you're going to start moving out of your positions there and get ready for the bear market that comes, every 3.5 years.
It's not good for.
Not good for what?
No, we didn't hear what you said.
I said we're not promoting packet by telling people to scale out of their positions, but
right.
I mean, this is just fundamental crypto.
You can obviously make a lot of money by every time Bitcoin tops, you go into gold, and every time Bitcoin bottoms, you go back into Bitcoin. And
it's a great trading pair.
I wish that you could do that on a crypto exchange.
Well, if you're willing to own like tokenized gold, I think there are some gold tokens like Tether. I think has one.
You could also just go into like a stable coin, right? I mean, it's pretty much.
You can, but you're going to suffer a certain amount of inflation with that because you're owning the currency. What would be nice would be, and this is advice to everybody who's out there listening. Somebody needs to make a dollar stable coin that yields or even just grows in value based on the yield from the treasury notes, so that basically, when you hold that stable coin, that's like a dollar stable coin, it just yields based on whatever the government is yielding on treasury notes, because nobody, no institutional dollar holder is holding their dollars as like paper cash or in a bank account. It's always a money market that is backed by treasuries. So why don't we just acknowledge that and let everybody yield at the zero risk interest rate? Because right now Tether's just taking, they've got the treasuries and they're yielding, and then they're just pocketing the yield, while everybody who holds Tether is, kind of getting screwed because they're just holding the dollars that are devaluing at their inflation rate.
Yeah, they should provide that type of solution. That would be.
There, Wise, the bank, or TransferWise is the old name.
Right.
Really nice online bank. They pay you this little like interest payment every so often. They don't call it interest, but it's a payment of some sort, and that's because that money's all in money markets and it's backed by treasuries.
Yeah,
it's a good rate. It's like 3% or something. It's pretty decent.
That is a good rate. Yeah, we've seen them even higher, seen them up to 5%. So. For sure. Well, it's been good chatting with y'all. Let's hope that we get the October that we've been looking for. What, Jer?
I said a big month ahead of us. So
yeah, no, this is a massive month. This is
not just for crypto, but for packet and for everything that we've been working on for the last 6 months, or I
Yeah.
guess months now. But yeah,
That is but yeah, and since a lot more people are signed on, if you're in the Packet community, do log into your Bitmart and MEXC accounts and withdraw your airdrop. Do that. If you have PKTC on those exchanges, you should also remove it, since they are delisting or have delisted trading on both of those on that asset specifically, and just make sure you can get your coins off the exchanges. So take action, don't wait on it, and definitely get into your account and get it done. Move it to your personal wallet that you have custody of. With that
Yeah.
said, wishing you all a great day, and we'll see you
Yeah.
back here next week, same time, same place.
Cool.
Have a
All
good
right,
one, y'all.
gents. All right,
Have a
later.
good one, guys. See you later.